All too often, historic homes are bulldozed in the name of progress or just left to wither away. Cindy Carter met a young family in Lynchburg that has repurposed an antebellum mansion as a wedding and event venue. Now the old home helps celebrate the joining of new lives at a place aptly named Promise Manor.
For decades, people in Lynchburg, Tennessee drove by this old home on Motlow Barn Road every day, but paid little attention to it. Though they saw it often, they just didn't really see it anymore. Owner Kayla White admits she rarely gave the old place a second glance.
I grew up here. I've passed this house a million times, but I had no idea that it was still here or even the history.
Now, Kayla and her husband Dennis think about the house and grounds every single day. The couple bought the old Green Evans Hudgens home in 2018, renovated it, and turned it into a wedding and event space that celebrates promises. The ones made between couples, between friends, between families.
I wanted to create an experience for our guests. A lot of people are craving being able to be in a home that feels like grandma's. It creates a sense of peace and calm. So my whole thing was, I went to my husband and I said, how can we create a place that actually gives people an experience?
The place is now called Promise Manor, a space that provides a home for events like baby showers, weddings, engagements, and other celebrations. And Kayla and Dennis say they had no idea how full of promise this place actually was when they decided to take a risk.
My husband and I had started kind of a spiritual journey into figuring out what God had planned for our lives. And we knew that whatever the plan was, it was going to be great, and we knew that it was a promise from God. We always say that our first child is our first promise, and once we purchased this place, we knew it was our second promise.
Kayla says she always had a passion for event planning, and she and Dennis decided to follow that passion straight to a very crowded local auction.
I was like, there's no way, there's too many people here.
But when the time came, Kayla excitedly raised her panel and heard the word that changed her life: sold.
Auction started and we raised our paddle and we were the only one in the air.
I cannot believe this news. It was actually a shock. I was like, oh my gosh, really?
Kayla and Dennis had the right place to grow their event planning business, but the time wasn't quite right. There was a lot of work to be done.
But it's been really exciting. I've really enjoyed taking care of it, always painting, doing something, fixing something, so that's what I like to do.
Once they started renovations, only then did Dennis and Kayla fully understand the history they had in their hands.
So this house was built in 1858, and it was the home to Miss Mary Bobo. And if you know anything about Lynchburg, you know Miss Mary Bobo's boarding house. She was the sole proprietor of the boarding house, and it has now become a nationally renowned restaurant.
Original owner Townsend Port Green moved to the area from West Virginia and started a local lumber company. After the Civil War, he lost his fortune and sold it to the aforementioned Miss Mary Bobo's father, Daniel Evans, who commissioned a young artist to make the home look and feel a bit more stylish. His solution? These unique landscapes.
Mr. Evans commissioned Fred Swanton. Fred was about 20 to 25 years old when he moved to Lynchburg, and Fred was from Buffalo, New York. He was a circus cart painter, and Mr. Evans hired him, and then wherever he would paint, where he would board. And so they were painted in 1888, and if you notice, there's 7 murals painted in the wainscoting.
These landscapes aren't just beautiful, they're unique. This house, the Hinkle Price House, also in Lynchburg, and a Bedford County home are the only 3 spots in Tennessee that can claim this type of mural.
People just enjoy being in a place where they don't have to worry about decorating and coming in and creating this huge thing, because when they walk in here, it's kind of already set.
These days, the old house that once blended into the Moore County landscape is much harder to ignore. The Whites invite a new generation to take a second look and notice just how full of promise Promise Manor really is.
And that's what we want everyone to know when they walk through these doors, that there is a purpose and there's a plan, and that's why you're here. And so we're thankful for this journey, and we're thankful for everyone that we're getting to meet.